What's up, Chaz? I've been good. All right, looks like the first break is good to go. Black Friday week starts today. Take advantage of these deals while they're here because they will not be here beyond this week. Chaz, due to the nature of your name being almost identical to the last account that you had, I'm going to have to say I know it was you. So welcome back, dude. I'm glad you're back. I didn't forget about you, dude. Don't worry. You don't got to tell me who you are because I already know you. You think I could forget a face like that, Chaz? Come on. That beautiful? And because Shrouded Fable is in the breaks and we still haven't pulled the Houndoom, that will also be active. All right, first break is good to go. Next two are very close to being full as well. Yeah, I don't know if you were here to change that, real man. I'm sorry. Because we did pull the Green Ninja. That was a while ago. All right, good luck, everybody. Cheers. Let's get some heat. Dragon right off the bat, which I thought that card was grass, so that's interesting. Ryan, first hit. What's up, Bowler? Bowler, I figured out the most busted gun combo in Zombies for Black Ops. The shot. It's occupying me for now. I'm hoping that it doesn't become stale, but like it's still very fun for me. The Pack-a-Punch auto shotgun with Dragonfire rounds is the absolute most like disgusting thing I think I've ever used. And not to mention the pistol Pack-a-Punch turning into like a mini grenade launcher. I didn't realize how broken the gumballs are. See, I don't know if I like them akimbo. I got them to akimbo, and now that I have them, I almost feel like just the one pistol might be better. I feel like you go through ammo with akimbo way faster. It's like less controlled. So one big issue I'm having, I'm making it to like round like the 30s and the 40s. Ammo becoming a very big issue. But I know there's some passives that like, I don't know if they generate ammo, but they reload your clips passively. How are the types decided? So the list of names is randomized and the list of types is randomized on screen, and that's how you see what you get. Yeah, but like buying it when you're fully Pack-a-Punch is like 5K, isn't it? I guess I'm like right on the cusp of like when you have unlimited money. Yeah, no problem. If you have any other questions, make sure to let me know. I'll be sure to try and help you and answer. 5K or 10K? It goes up to 10K? I just need to level up the augments. I feel like I am like a little bit late to the game on that one. Are there any augments that generate ammo? Or is it only the one that like... I remember seeing one that like passively reloads your clips. No? Damn. Well, what's it called? Would you technically have more ammo? Because with akimbo, you can't put any attachments on it at all. I don't know if you could do extended clip with it. Would you have more ammo if you did single pistol instead of akimbo? Or is it just the same? All I know is auto shotgun is with Dragonfire rounds is disgusting. I literally pop that. I take the power up that like aggroes all the zombies to you, and it just damages your armor. And I just go off. I did that a couple times last night, and it's honestly like one of the best feelings. That Duskull is actually a really cool card. I'm a big fan of it. John, that's yours. I definitely want one of those in my collection. It's kind of creepy. Did you guys read the moves that are on this? Come and Get You and Mumble. Never noticed that because I haven't pulled a lot of those. Another thing too, Bowler, is I feel like a lot of people are kind of lost when playing on certain maps. I feel like I'm the one who always has to do the bowling, the zombie bowling thing, and the safe, like every time. And everyone's kind of just running around dying. I guess that just comes down to like playing with actual people. And I don't know all of them either. I'm really familiar with Liberty City, or whatever it's called. Terminus, not so much, but I'm getting there. I'm saving all my good gumballs for like when I play with friends, because I wasted a lot of them in like one of the runs. And I didn't understand that they like went away after you used them. Some of those are so broken. One of them was like, the next wall weapon is Pack-a-Punched, or the next mystery box spin is going to be a legendary, or one of the wonder weapons. You did Terminus, completed the story, but that map is only fun playing solo. What, Terminus? I feel like it's a big map, but at the same time, it's like really narrow. They should bring back revamped old zombie maps, and I'm surprised that they haven't, honestly, with the culture of gaming right now. Pikachu. Is there any info on what that's going to be? Continuation to the story from Terminus. It's like Citadel or something. See, I didn't complete the story modes for both of them yet. Which I figured out that like most of the Easter eggs do not work on solo. They're just not there. Because I was like trying to throw the grenade on top of the church and it wasn't working. And the slack off. In directed, okay. But directed is the story mode, is it not? They really like, they kind of do a horrible job of explaining, especially like customizing weapons for zombies. Like they made that very unclear. I had to like really watch a couple of videos to figure it out. Your birthday was a week ago? That's awesome, dude. Nice. All Easter eggs besides the main quest are turned off. I need to do each of the stories because I think you unlock stuff too. Solid first brick. And I pre-made a bunch of these bricks, so we got ammo. We're due for another alt Pikachu, that's for sure. Alright, one spot in the next one. But yeah, what's funny to me, Bowler, is I bought it just for zombies. I'm probably never going to play like the actual online like multiplayer. I don't even think I installed it. To attach your Battle.net account was the most strenuous process I think I've ever done. I was live an hour late on the gaming channel because of that. Because it would freeze up whenever you do it in actual Call of Duty. You had to do it on a very specific website because it didn't work even if you went through Activision. I'm just updating lists right now. Thank you guys for being patient. Did 3 fill before 2? What? Two, 3, okay. 2, 3, and 4. All right, 2 and 3 are good to go. 1, 4, 3, 5. All right, randomizing 2 and 3. So we had one person ask how the random type is determined. This is it right here. Boom. Randomize list of names, list of types, whatever you end up next to, that's what you get. If you have multiple spots, you get multiple types. You have like 6 days played in zombies and maybe 12 hours online. I bought it for zombies, yeah. I'm surprised it's not a game on its own, to be honest. I'm surprised they haven't just tried to capitalize on that and sell it as 2 different games. It might be better, though, because it gives people a choice. Because if you're not interested in the online multiplayer... But I get it. One inevitably brings more to the other. Whoever just followed, I love your face. It's beautiful. Neptune, thank you. Don't give them any ideas. You're not wrong, dude. But let's be honest... They probably would have done it without me anyway. They don't need me giving them the scumlord ideas. Activision does that plenty fine on its own. Is Bobby Kotick still the CEO, or did they finally buy him out? I forgot. Like, I haven't been following that story. All right, good luck, everybody. Break 2. That's good, Chaz. Congrats on that. But overall, like, I'm still pretty much enjoying the zombies experience for now. I'm still longing to play the older ones, though. But the process I was, like, reading to play the older zombies, like, online is kind of a headache. That's why I say, like, these... With all of, like, the revamps and everything with gaming, I'm surprised they haven't brought back any older maps. Like, the Alcatraz one would be sick, because I never got to play it. Just a reminder again, the current bounty is the Houndoom from Shrouded Fable. We have not pulled one yet. If you get one and one of these breaks, you get a booster box. No ifs, ands, or buts. Nice. We got Robo Snail, Reptar's sworn enemy from Rugrats. Very good for grass. Let's go, dude. It's got dark. Matthew. That's a good way to start the week right there, my guy. Haven't seen one in a very long time, but haven't opened Obsidian for a little bit. Sorry, number 157 for your boy. Pidgeotto. I was making sure I wasn't seeing double for a second. Now we have two Chuckies. Well, one's Chaz, dude. Chaz Michael Michaels. Oh yeah, you've been here for a while, my guy. I know. How you doing, Charles? Well, it's not a competition. You are two beautiful people that I'm very thankful to have here. These breaks are looking real strong already. Well, you're smart to do so because they won't be here after this week. It really doesn't seem like that long. It still feels to me like I just started doing this. I haven't fully decided on the schedule for this week yet. I don't know if it would be better to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But you can't miss Black Friday, like actual Black Friday, so I might just keep it the same. Every year. Well, not this year. That's what's important. Gorgeous electric hit. Careful with ETBs, Neptune. Speaking from experience, there's a reason why I don't put ETB backs in breaks. I use booster boxes. ETBs, generally speaking, can be very disappointing and devastating. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. This is my resume that hasn't been updated yet. We're probably closer to like 700,000 whatever packs, which I'll have that updated soon. Every time I've opened an ETB that's a non-holiday ETB, so a regular set that has booster boxes, it never turns out well. What's up, Bones? Another thing as well, because I feel like it's not said enough or covered, those sleeves, do not use them to protect your cards if you're a collector. If you play the game, by all means, and you don't care, those are some cheap, rough plastic that are going to stretch with your card. You think you're going to get into a break today? Hey, well, I'm here, dude. If you want to, I'm here. Shipping is free if you live in the US. Yeah, and I'm just telling you, Neptune, because I just like to give general knowledge like that, just in case people are actually using them and they don't know. Because if you don't, you're not gonna know. I feel like it's not common knowledge. When's the next break? Well, I go in order, so 3 will be next, then 4, 5, whatever's full. If you want stuff open tonight, yeah. You can even do it before I start stream, just so you don't have to wait. But generally speaking, these one boxers go by pretty quick. It's 36 packs. Probably, Chaz. I'll just keep the schedule the same for this week because I don't want to miss Black Friday on Friday, so to speak. Number 3 is up. Let's go. Made a bunch of these, so we got ammo for this evening. Everything this week will be the same, price-wise. And if you're not able to be here and watch your break live, I will still, the replay will still be on YouTube to watch at your leisure. Whoa. If there's any hollow on the card whatsoever, it goes to your type. Anything reverse hollow to the highest rarity. And you get an even split of the bulk based on how many spots you have. No problem, dude. Better to ask now than to send me an angry email later. What do you mean I don't get 36 packs for $13? You scammed me. What's up, Gilbert? Gilbert helped me find the pistols that I needed last night in Call of Duty. Because I did not know where they were on Terminus. Pistols were beasts, but I unlocked the Dragonfire rounds, Gilbert. Yeah, no problem, Dusty. I unlocked the Dragonfire rounds for the shotgun. I will show you tomorrow. I will show you the way. That's good, Chucky. It's not that it's better, it's different. It's better for different situations. But the Dragonfire rounds do burn damage, and then whatever ammo you put in the gun also has the elemental damage, and it like you legitimately like I played one more game after I ended stream and just to try it. It is the most disgusting thing I think I've ever experienced. You don't pick your type. It gets randomly assigned. You random the list of names, random the list of types. You need a psychic energy for 2023. Well, it is 2024 now. That might be hard, Chucky. Yes. I randomized the list of names and types on the screen. Yeah, no problem, dude. Yeah, the reason for that, Dusty, is if you got to choose your spot, then everyone would just choose whatever had the craziest chase, which would be electric, and then none of the brakes would be full. And I couldn't charge the same amount for that reason. But if you were to buy every spot in a break, it's still pretty cost effective. And a lot of people do it. I think that was the highlight of the gaming stream, was playing with those Latinos, dude. They were making me laugh so hard. I need to figure out push to talk so I can interact with people more. I have not looked at the bindings for push to talk for controller. Whenever I went down to, he's like, "Don't worry, man, I got you." They were freaking out though whenever I got the whenever I had like the helicopter. They're like, how did he get in there, man? Psychic. Absolutely. Put it in the Discord? What? Obi-Wan Shinobi is a awesome name, by the way. Well done. Yep. One card upside down. Just to throw me off. Thanks, Pokemon. The best is when I had the fully pack-a-punch dual-wield pistols, and I was just destroying everything. And then you just hear one of them go, "Pistolero." And just for background, I speak Italian and Sicilian, so it's really easy for me to understand Spanish, and it was the funniest experience for me. Every time. I don't think a lot of people don't know that you can go into like the safe to like get special stuff. Because I would ping whenever I would like leave something in there that I couldn't pick up, and no one would go grab it. Yeah, Scott, keep an eye on it. It should be updating. We're on top of it this time. Just keep an eye on it. You should see an update within the next day or so. Because we wanted to make sure to get it out before Black Friday and all the insanity. Yeah, no problem at all. Dude, I wish I would have just looked up how to hot mic, because talking to them would have been amazing. Other than that, Scott, how you doing, my guy? El Pistolero. That dude's name was El Vato, dude. And he was. No, I remember who it was, but like adding a random person like that is probably kind of weird. I'll go over him after. Getting all your decks aligned from when it comes in. So you actually play the game. I'm just purely a collector, but you play the game. That's pretty cool. Sorry, Dusty. I'm like trying to answer and talk at the same time, and I hope I'm not coming across as disingenuous. After the break is over, I'll go over the hits. So you'll see. I'm not going to go over all the hollows and reverse hollows because that would add like 30 minutes to every break. But those get sleeved off camera and then they show up with your package. Another thing too, Scott, to think about is it may already be on its way and they just didn't scan it because they don't want to do their job, I guess. I don't know. A good reason for that because there isn't one. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm purely in it for collecting, but I do appreciate people that, you know, do play the game. The only TCG I really play right now is like Hearthstone, but that's not really a physical TCG. They're all pretty derivative anyway, to be honest. I'm going to be honest, Dusty, I do not know how, like what that sentence is asking. But the Son of Chonkers is the alt Pikachu from Surging, if that's what you're asking. I've seen it. It's just right, absolutely, and I get that. No, you're good. I just didn't know what you were asking. I just guessed there. Glad I guessed correctly. All right, number 4. You build 20 standard decks, 12 GLC decks. So when you build a deck, how affected is Pokemon as a TCG affected by the meta? Like, is there pretty much like 1 or 2 meta decks that everyone just runs? And hold on, I'm not going to be able to answer or see your answer in a moment just because I'm updating lists. Three and 4, 3 and 5. Because I feel like once there's a meta deck, or a few meta decks, that's just what everyone plays. Because they're pretty hard to beat. Especially in Hearthstone, that's the way it is. Everyone, like, I hate it when the meta for this recent expansion, before they nerfed it, and it's still not even, like, completely nerfed, is Elemental Mage, and it's the most toxic garbage I've ever played against. It's just as aggro as it gets. The game ends in a couple turns. That is not a keybind I wanted to press. Okay, good. I didn't do anything. Okay, website's full. We're going to have to add some more. Let me see if Nick is available to add some more. You would say that the top two decks and like four secondary decks, like right now, Regidrago V-Star is the top deck. Standard is basically 3 turns. That sounds like absolutely the worst experience ever. How could they think that that's like fun? A deck that wins a game in 3 turns? Why even make a deck at that point? At that point, just play like poker best hand and just deal the cards out once. Or flip a coin. Because then what it comes down to is who draws whatever they actually need. And if the deck allows you to search your deck for the cards you need, then it doesn't even matter. It's really funny that like TCGs are that derivative where a deck can win in like 3 turns. Aggro meta is... I honestly hate it. Okay, so I randomized and you've got water. So every single water card is yours. Dusty. Just explaining it for you because I know it's your first time. So look for any cards that are blue. They're going to be yours. Honestly, for your first time, probably one of like the easiest types for you to recognize. So at regionals, you play best of 3 50 minutes, so you either have to play very fast. They put a time limit on it? So that tells me that at some point, someone has made a deck that stalls a game to make it inevitably like just the longest, most painful thing ever. Which I like those decks. I love control decks. I prefer playing that to just aggro garbage that's just brainless. Well, there you go. So how long was that match that made that rule? Because it had to have been a couple hours. But, like, you put that restriction, and then it just goes to the other end of the spectrum, where it's just the most aggro deck that someone can come up with that ends in 3 turns. Hold on, I'm grabbing water. People still play Staller Control at these regionals, even with the time. But you get what I'm saying. So, like, was there one ridiculous occurrence that made them put a time limit? When the changes was made, but it's been... So what I'm saying, that's fine that you don't know, but like, it would be interesting to know there's always one occurrence that I can get traced back to. That someone made a ridiculously like stalled deck that made something take way too long. For them to have to put a time limit on it. But to win in 3 turns? Does that... Like, how conditional is that? They need to draw perfectly, or what? Or is there a lot of cards that allow you to just pull from your deck? Wailord EX stall. And this is me not having any knowledge of any of the cards. This is me just speaking very generally. Because I do not play the game. I'm purely a collector. Colorless. And if you don't get a top-loaded card, Dustin, don't be discouraged because the pile of reverse hollows and hollows, it adds up, dude. It gets pretty thick. But we still have a lot of time there. Just letting you know, though. Like, everything that's blue, that's yours. That's hollow. After 3 turns, you know if you're going to win or not, basically. Right, which is usually the case with aggro decks. Whenever you play, like, aggro, like, Face Demon Hunter was the Hearthstone meta for a while. And if you were able to survive, like, the first 3 or 4 turns, they basically couldn't win. And you were playing a control deck. Otherwise, it just wins. And I get why people play them. It takes a lot of games to climb rank and to, like, make it to Legend. But still, dude, I hate aggro decks so much. The fact that they can just win in, like, 2 or 3 turns makes me, like, not want to play. So, once, like, the first 3 or 4 turns pass and they can't win, do they just concede? Or surrender, whatever the terminology is? Because that's just as toxic, honestly. Because you know that there's a bunch of people just playing that to try and win in 3 turns as fast as they can. Drago allows you to use any dragon attack if the card is in your discard. So cards like Dragapult EX gain for just 2 grass and a fire. To save time, they'll concede. To me, like, does that not seem like the most mindless, just roll the dice garbage? True, but you understand that that's not how it works. Just making sure. I know. Oh, yes? Okay. Like, even in Hearthstone, in order for me to hit Legend twice, I had to play the most aggro garbage. And that's the only way to do it because your win rate playing any other deck was not good enough to be able to even climb. Because everyone was playing that deck. I think I actually hit Legend 3 times, and I just didn't care anymore after that. I did it just because I never did it before, but my gosh. And their matchmaking is rigged. If you've won too many games, they put you against counters every time. Or it's just mirror match and whoever draws a better hand. Well, when everyone's playing an aggro deck, that's no longer a game anymore. Now it's you. Everyone has to play it because if you don't, you're just not going to be able to compete. Which, that's kind of garbage. But I can relate, even if I don't know the specifics of Pokemon the TCG. I've played a bunch of other ones where you can make the connections because they're all derivative. Aggro is always toxic. The Okie Doji. But it's also in combination with them not adding any more aggro cards. That's the problem. Because that's the reoccurring problem in Hearthstone. Whenever like aggro stuff gets rotated out, more stuff gets put in. And people just figure out a different way to do it. I probably around 7, Chucky. Play some more zombies. So you have to do a little bit more. The problem is once there's any aspects of aggro in the game, they'll find another way to do it. Just because it's toxic and people love to win without any effort. And I don't even know what those two do, but I'm sure that the way you're making it sound, it's like the staple of that deck. The decks I really miss playing, they're not really a thing anymore, is there were Druid decks and Rogue decks that just made your opponent overdraw because you can only have 10 cards in your hand. And you basically just make them draw their entire deck and it just burns all the cards. That was like the best thing to play. I love that. Raging Bolt EX. Raikou. Latias. That sounds very toxic. I don't know. For me, like, the longer games that are more controlled and, like, you have to line up a combo to win, I with like having a win condition like that, the game is more fun, in my opinion. Because then you have to play around stuff. When you play against aggro, you have to play perfectly and be very lucky with your draws. And I don't like that. Because the opponent's win condition is just flip a coin. You didn't get a top-loaded card, but there was a lot of water hollows and reverse hollows. So you're never getting nothing. I wish I could have pulled you a water hit, but, you know, one spot, it's a little bit harder to do. But it happens. Well, there you go. Beautiful. You would like a GLC if you ever wanted. Yeah, for me, like, I never really cared for the game. I'm just purely a collector, but maybe sometime in the future, who knows? And more breaks should have been added if they haven't been already. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. There's Mr. Anderson messing up my name box. Wouldn't have it any other way. And Dusty, we ship weekly, so everything that you buy in this week is going to be shipped together. How you doing, Chris? Doing well, my guy? Like to hear it. Love to hear it. What you been up to, dude? You could tell when someone is a player versus a collector, Scott, because it's not everyone, but it's a good amount of them, because that's who started buying in when I first started. It's a very different dynamic when people are players and not collectors. They want everything for nothing. And it's like, that's like the meta, and I get it, but it's like, it's really toxic. Work is good. Well, Ches, not everyone likes to answer that. Just be understanding of that, but that's up to Chris. Yeah, you don't need to answer that, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson. He works for, just like in The Matrix, dude. He works for that tech company, and then Morpheus reached out to him. And then Agent Smith sat him down and said, no. You get it for sure. I try to be cool. For sure. Because I feel like collectors, are a good reason why people even have singles to buy for competitive. Which I don't think that dynamic is realized by Pokemon because they're oblivious to things, but yeah. What you've been playing, Chris? You still in that WoW grind? Because we fell off. It was impossible to fill. That's not the Houndoom we're looking for, but we're getting closer. It was impossible to fill 10-man raids. I feel like they took too long to add to Cataclysm Classic, and then they came out with like season stuff. I think some of my friends are playing vanilla again, and I just didn't want to. But collectors are after cards that are not necessarily good for decks and whatever meta there is. I already played Classic for like over a year as one of the main tanks with all the world buffs. I'm not doing that again. Leveling a warrior was tiresome enough. And that's going to take away even more from Cataclysm Classic. So it's like we're going to be dealing with an even worse situation if we started to play that again. Skeledirge. I haven't seen that card in a while. But I get what you're saying, Scott. Oh, for sure. For sure. Unfortunately, I think players push the prices of cards down, which I get is needed for people who play the game, but it's not always the greatest thing for sets. Chien-Pao. Yeah, but playable value is so temporary and volatile compared to collector value, which we know what happens over time. No, I know what you're saying, yeah. Okie dokie. Mr. Anderson. Getting hits from Shrouded, even though hits from Shrouded are extremely difficult. I'm telling you right now, Shrouded is going to be a sleeper over time. It's the perfect recipe for having some crazy value as time goes on. Which is nuts, Scott, because the hits are extremely difficult to get. People hated on Shrouded. It was a horrible release. But over time, it's I think the cards in it are going to be very, very valuable. I think people lack the ability to look beyond 5 minutes when it comes to like what can happen to sets over time. They just look at, oh, this set sucks, blah, 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 horrible. And then, yeah. They're like take advantage of it. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right. Sorry about that. But yeah, the fact that they're throwaway packs right now, and then everyone's going to want them once it's gone. It's going to happen, and the hits are super hard to get. Despite it being a holiday set, it's like a holiday set where it's hard. I haven't seen the Houndoom yet. All of that together, all of those different factors, I think, are going to contribute insanely over time. Oh, for sure. People, but that's the meta. To hate on the set, so it drives prices down, and then once those people have accumulated a bunch of said set, all of a sudden, oh, it's valuable now. But I guess people just don't, I don't know, they don't see the pattern of it happening. If you just ignore that, you know what's going to happen over time. Or they don't care. Yeah, that definitely plays a part too. That's a very clean steel hit. Flapple. But man, that still blows me away that there's a deck where you can win in 3 turns. I didn't think that Pokemon was like that, but oh, it made me like throw up in my mouth a little bit. The panic attack? No. I don't succumb to like the hive mind of whatever someone said on Reddit because I know each situation as it's happening usually, and it's probably not whatever they're saying. But what's the panic attack? It's not just the deck, it's kind of just the game and how it feels. Yeah, but it definitely contributes to it. Because in the back of your head, you have to now prepare to play against something that can win in 3 turns. And that's very toxic. Eevee and all that evolutions. Yeah, it'll be a good set. And due to the fact that people weren't crazy about Pokemon this year, everything production-wise has projected downwards because that's how Pokemon works, and there won't be a lot of it. And it'll be gone very quickly. If that's the panic, then yeah, for sure. That is your mindset, honestly, and there you go. That pretty much spells out the state of competitive Pokemon then. For that specific format, which is pretty bad. And it's not a game that's... The physical card game doesn't have patches that stuff can get nerfed. The only way they could do that is just like banning cards, I guess. Well, this is what happens, Scott, when people get picky and they skip a bunch of sets. Which is what it is, but I like to refer back to a time where there was a little set called Ultra Prism. Where the previous set before that was Crimson, which everyone skipped. And Pokemon decided on their best set ever, because on their projections of Crimson, that they were not going to make any. And the day it came out, Ultra Prism was gone. So it'll probably be something close to that. All right, Mr. Anderson said break 6 is his, which I'm good with. Don't even have to randomize. Having seen Pokemon for 8 years plus, I could say I have a good grasp of like what's going to happen when a certain set comes out, and it'll probably be gone like very quickly. And then there's going to be people saying, "Oh, they're going to reprint." They don't do reprints. They print the set once because you can't just flip a printer on and print out more cards at will. It costs money for a print run. And to be a business, to not go bankrupt, they're going to base their production on previous performance. And like, there's people out there that are just like, no, they're going to make more. And it's like, I'm still waiting. Never came. Because they don't. That's just the way it is. Yeah, dude, they're gonna print more Evo. Really? They're gonna print XY evolutions, which they haven't made in like I don't even know how many years. I'm still waiting for that. Never came. But it's the condition of people listening to someone online who doesn't have a business and is just talking out of their you know what. The amount of arguments I used to have on stream with those people, they're like, "You're wrong, dude. This person said it." And I'm like, "Does this person has a business and works with distribution? Because if they don't, then they have no idea what they're talking about." But they know better, you know? What do I know? The Palmot. I use this in Radical Red. Part of me is itching to try and beat that because I really hate that game. I'll go back to it at some point. Probably the most toxic version of Pokemon I've ever played in my life. It helps to know a thing or two about a thing or two. Well, you don't see me going into like a mechanic shop and telling the mechanic how to fix a car because I didn't go to mechanic school. I have no idea what to do with that. It's the same thing. People talking when they don't understand how anything works and giving that information like it's true is a big problem. Radical Red kind of fell off the face of the earth. I feel like people kind of just stopped playing it altogether. Copperajah. Making me think I put Rebel Clash in here for a second. What's up, Clyde? Little Luxray. What you been doing, Clyde? That Dragon Ball's clean. That's one of the cards you were just talking about, right? For the toxic aggro deck. Beware. 200 to active. See, I don't know like the techs of Pokemon or the mechanics, but that sounds like it's broken. Ooh, the Persian. I don't know if I pulled that yet. See, like cards like that out of Shrouded are just going to skyrocket. I've been opening it for this long and I still haven't seen that until now. Don't be in a rush to sell any Shrouded cards. And Scott, I messaged Nick just to make sure. He confirmed that everything was dropped off. So just keep an eye on it for updates. Add in the Dusknoir from Shrouded. I maybe have pulled one. Still have not seen the Houndoom. And it's probably like a good couple thousand packs opened of just Shrouded. The hits are very difficult to get, which I think made people hate the set even more too. It definitely added to it. But I feel like people lack the vision, because then when stuff is hard to get, not a lot of people cared about it, not a lot of people opened it, which in turn a lot of people probably didn't even grade the cards. It's going to be a recipe for absolute like mayhem. The Dusknoir from Shrouded. Does it contribute to the aggro deck? And I'm sure people play variations of that aggro deck too. Especially in preparation to what's going to be rotated out. Oh yeah? Oh no. The Drasna. I'll be sure to. And that's a pretty recent set, so that's not going to be rotated out anytime soon. That's the main issue with the aggro toxic decks. They're going to be here for a while. Because I feel like they rotate sets out pretty slowly. Isn't it like over a year? I feel like it could be a couple years. Do they ever ban cards altogether just from competitive play? You want for knocking it out. Yeah, that sounds like, again, not familiar with exactly what you're saying, but I get the gist of it. Well, number 7 is also yours, Mr. Anderson. Let's go. I'm down. I'll just change your name. Or change the break number. They don't even run expanded events anymore. Then you need to go to sleep. You have to open tomorrow. All good, dude. I'll be back on Wednesday on here. Well, after his break. I'll start earlier on Wednesday. So to everyone that's still here, try to grab your spots before stream, because then I won't just have to wait around. They don't really ban anything in standard. Yeah, but it sounds like expanded is the most balanced way to play the game then. If they actually like ban cards that are broken. I just copied and pasted your name that was already there because that's the way my brain works. Routine. It's actually worse. Oh, that's not good. That just sounds like a big mess then. They should be catering to like one version of the game and make it as balanced as they can. When you have all these different ways of playing it, then it turns into a circus. It becomes harder to follow, too, in my opinion. Gold right off the bat. Well, I'd imagine because you have more resources to draw from. If expanded is more sets, you could create some truly nightmarish just things because it's sets that were not supposed to be played together. But I figured it would be more regulated. They would ban certain cards to prevent certain combos from happening, but from what you just said, I don't think they are. Yeah, that's way too many. Because I'm sure certain mechanics that are not meant to be together are together, and that makes for a very bad thing. They don't care, clearly. The Alcurian. Dude, I remember opening so much Roaring Skies. I was opening it for the Rayquaza, but you know, people wanted the Shaman. That and Tapu Lele. Sun and Moon was my first set that I did like as a release. Like the Sun and Moon base. Yep, absolutely. Scoop up net would allow you to reuse Shaman over and over. You could run through your deck. Anything that has draw or allows you to search your deck in any TCG is broken. I remember reading, and like, I don't really care about Yu-Gi-Oh, but I remember reading someone made a deck, like an Exodia deck, where they would win in one turn every time. He won. Then they banned certain cards, and he found different combos to do it. So he won again. One sec, there's an ad. My bad, dude. I have no control over the. I can just turn ads off for those who subscribe, and I make sure to do that. Until they banned Exodia. Any fire hits? There's been some good hits. That Alkirian that I just pulled, I'm kind of been on autopilot. I'm going to be honest with you. We were having some engaging discussion. We'll see if there's some more in this break. I think he was asking if there were any good hits, just in general, because his break was already over. If it was for him specifically, then yeah, for sure replay. But I appreciate the helpfulness, Mr. Scott. I think he was asking just in general if there were any like crazy hits. But it does look like he was asking if there was any hits specifically for the fire type spot, so I get it. That's why I make sure to go over the hits at the end. But I like to do it fast just because, you know, then we get to open more. Bruxish, which I feel like we've talked about this before. I don't know why they keep putting this fish in sets specifically. I've never used Bruxish in any of like the actual Pokemon games. Like someone really loves that Pokemon and they need to go in the roster and just not use it anymore. We had enough of it. Christopher said that the next two breaks were his. So he got them. I mean, to be fair, at this price, it is very cost effective to buy out a break, to be honest. You have yet to see that card ever in a deck. This is what I'm saying, dude. Like, there's certain Pokemon that, like, they just keep putting in sets, and it's like, alright, just put something else in, dude. We got thousands at this point. You could pick another one. That's good, Chaz. Caparaja. Like Semi-Sear was another one. That was like in 8 sets. We didn't need any more Semi-Sears. Put something else in, dude. Figure it out. All right. You too, Chris. I'll be on the gaming channel tomorrow. I've been playing zombies and back here Wednesday. These deals will be going on just this week. They released a Charizard EX pre-made. And that's exactly the whole thing with collectible value versus playable value. Very temporary. Alright, I think that'll be it for this evening. All the breaks up right now are going to be for Wednesday. And, yeah. I'll be live on the gaming channel tomorrow and back here Wednesday for some more heat. Try to grab those spots before I go live.